Hey guys, Rachel Gravenhofer here with Cosmetics and Toiletries, coming to you with my latest consumer pulse / top headlines in C&T, a quick look anyways. So first off, I want to go to this report from Exploding Topics. I did a quick search in the last 2 years. Something that came up on top this time around was Bakuciol powder. This has, been something we've talked about for a couple of years as sort of a natural retinol alternative. It also has skin brightening properties and it's a good antioxidant. But this talks about how it sort of was discovered in August of 2022. I think maybe that means discovered from the consumer standpoint. But you can see there's been a more recent spike in interest around it. So I thought that would be interesting to highlight. One other thing from Exploding Topics, Succinic acid cream. And this is kind of a staple. It's been around for skin care for a while, probably more, I think it was like an antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory type properties that it was for. It does mention that it's used for sensitive skin, so that might be a more recent tie-in, but it talks about this one being discovered, again, I think by consumers, around May-ish, mid-May of 2025. And let's see, I think, this one also had kind of a recent spike. Both of these are up, according to Exploding Topics, over 99,000% in the last 2 years. So those are definitely drawing some interest for whatever reason. Then I did this Google Trend search the last 1 week since I've been a little more on top of this. The related queries around beauty, I found up 800% is this Not Beauty SZA. It's a new brand launched by, I believe it's a singer. Let's see, I did a quick search because I didn't know what this was. So SZA is a singer, the singer, I guess, who's growing another group of pop stars that are coming out with their own beauty products. So this is a cruelty-free and vegan brand. I think, I saw an ad for it somewhere. There it is. The Not Beauty. There's a grand national tour talking about the different lip glosses. So this is trending right now. I believe it just came out. Let's see, that was 4 months ago. But I did see a report that the launch, I think, was more recent. That's the same headline. Anyways, new brand coming out from a new pop star, something worth looking at. And then a couple other things I'll highlight quickly on the Google Trends. Road was a growing topic here. You see the SCA is on there as well. Semana del Belleza Guanabara, I probably said that wrong, is up 550% in the searches. This, I believe, relates to a beauty week in a marketplace or a store called Guanabara, which is in Brazil, if I read it right. So that is kind of a big sale happening now, along with this Ulta Days of Beauty, 21 Days of Ulta Beauty. All of these searches are up. So you could see everyone is looking for a good deal. Why not? We all love a good deal. So next up on C&T's headlines, I wanted to highlight this ingredient from Econic Technologies. They're surfactants derived from carbon dioxide through an interesting platform technology. Anyways, the idea is to be more sustainable and to reuse carbon dioxide as an actual raw material. So I didn't dig too deeply into how they're doing this. I don't think that they actually disclose that information, but I thought it was worth highlighting. So one other one I wanted to highlight, I did this report earlier this week on some different sunscreen alerts that came out this week. There's been a lot of talk around foam product forms and mousse product forms, and whether those are, apparently there are FDA warning letters going out to several of the big manufacturers saying that those are not approved forms for the drugs, which are sunscreens. Sunscreens are considered drugs in the US, right? So they don't fit the monograph, and there's warning letters going out about that. So that's been one big discussion happening right now. Then we also have this study that just came out. The Journal of the American Academy of Dermatology is highlighting a study. I don't see the full report out yet. It was just the headline that they highlighted, talking about hidden filters in UV products. Now, I don't know how they actually detected that. I'm waiting to see when that study fully comes out, what the test methods were. But I found a supplemental table showing the products and the various alleged product detections that were made, if you will. And they aren't disclosed on the label as sunscreens. Now, some of these are probably boosters. They're probably in at such low levels that maybe they weren't required to be labeled. I'm not a regulatory expert in that department. But here's where I kind of took a look at the actual table and talked about there were 50 products containing butyl-octyl salicylate. 19 had this DESM. 12 had EHMC, and 4 with ethyl ferrolate. So I'm waiting for that full report to come out, but it kind of ties into a bigger discussion that's been happening around sunscreen dosing, especially related to mineral sunscreens and concerns about, you know, are they fully mineral? When you add these boosters to make them more elegant and make them more effective, are you being deceitful when it comes to the labeling? So one last thing I wanted to highlight this week, I wanted to make sure you're aware, the C&T Alle Awards, we're still accepting submissions. The early bird deadline is September 15th, so get those in now to save $200. The final deadline is October 15th, so make sure you check that out. So that is it for this week. Thank you all for joining me. Sorry this is a little long-winded, but I hope you found this insightful, if not a little bit entertaining and interesting. So have a great weekend, and see you again soon. Thanks for joining me.